From KARK4 and Fox 16, this is a special report. Here's Mitch McCoy.
And good afternoon to you. I'm Mitch McCoy here at KARK4 and Fox 16 in Little Rock. We're following breaking news. Central High School here in Little Rock is on a precautionary lockdown at this hour after reports of shots fired at a nearby neighborhood. Little Rock police on the scene there along with school officials at Central. And I want to get to new video just coming in to our newsroom. This is from 16th and Denison. Our crew just arriving on the scene a few moments ago where there is now crime scene tape that's been deployed in this neighborhood after reports of shots fired. I want to bring in our Alexis Wainwright. She is just arriving on the scene. Alexis, good afternoon to you. Catch us up on what we're seeing here in this video that was just sent to us by your photographer at the scene.
Hey, Mitch. Well, as you mentioned, we spoke with police a few minutes ago and them confirming with us that there was a shooting nearby Central High School. So we're on 16th or 17th in Denison, where you can see a huge crime scene where we've seen detectives combing through evidence. We've seen photographers with the crime scene unit out taking pictures, a lot of them looking for clues and paying close attention to some of these cars on this road. We've also seen how big this crime scene is. It stretches from 1 to maybe 3 or 4, 5 houses on this street. So you can imagine a lot of people worry because of this area being so close to Central High School. I don't know if you could pull up my camera again, but I'm going to kind of turn it around and show you. So I'm standing right in front of that crime scene. You see the yellow tape up right here in this area, 17th and Denison. And then when I pan over, you can see this crime scene, how far it stretches. And then when I go right down this road, you can see this is Central High School right here. This is how close this crime scene is to the school. So again, we've seen a lot of worried parents, people frantically moving around, trying to figure out if their kids are okay and what exactly the situation is. I actually just spoke with a neighbor who lives on this road who kind of told me he heard about 6 gunshots go off. He decided to stay in the house, but after a little bit of time passed by, he looked back out and he saw some people running away from this area. So we spoke again with police. They're telling us that they're very early in this investigation, so not much information has been released just yet. We asked how many people may have been hurt. We don't know any of that information just yet, but again, as you can see, you see detectives out here, you see LRPD out here, and we've even seen them stop house by house to kind of interview and talk to some witnesses who saw what actually happened or who the people were that were involved in this incident. So that's what we know right now. Again, a chaotic scene for many. We've seen tons of parents, them coming up to us asking us, hey, what's happening? Do you know if I can come pick up my kid? We've seen LRSD security blocking off streets over in this area as well. Many of them telling those parents, hey, the school is on a lockdown at the moment, so you're not able to walk up to the school and grab your children at this moment. So that's what we've seen as of now. Again, a lot of movement happening in this area. But what we know, again, as you mentioned, Mitch, is that the school went on a lockdown following protocol after gunshots were heard just down the street from that campus.
Yeah, just down the street. And Alexis, it's incredibly alarming with just how close this is to Central High School. To just put this into perspective, it looks like you're really just a block away from Central High, where this crime scene tape is now set up.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Mitch. It might be less than a block, honestly. It's such a huge crime scene that you can't truly tell where exactly this incident happened. But we've seen a few people with backpacks that may be students that have kind of walked up this area, seen the crime scene and what was happening, and decided to turn back around. So a lot is going on at this moment. We've again seen neighbors out here kind of looking around, speaking with each other and comparing what they heard. So a lot of people still just trying to figure out what exactly happened to lead to all of this.
Okay, so let's just put this in. Alexis, again, you're at 16th and Denison. At least that's what I was told. Is that still accurate?
So I'm closer now to 17th and Denison.
Okay, 17th and Denison. So for folks that are just joining us, we have reports of shots fired near Central High School. This has caused a precautionary lockdown at Central High School. From what we understand, there were reports of gunfire in this neighborhood, 17th and Denison, 16th and Denison, that block, nonetheless. And so people inside Central High School reportedly heard that gunfire, which caused this precautionary lockdown. So you're at 17th and Denison, and I'm looking at Alexis here on the map here, and to just look at this, to think that, you know, from where you're standing, you can actually see Central High School. Again, I'm circling this area with the mouse. I'm hoping people can see it. And to know that Central High School is just, you know, a block north is incredibly alarming. No wonder people heard this gunfire inside the school.
Exactly. And as you could imagine, parents are getting text messages from students about hearing that gunfire, immediately them rushing here to campus just to figure out what exactly happened, if their kid is okay. One woman told me it's around lunchtime, so they might have not been exactly in the building when that gunfire went off. So of course, a lot of concerned parents, many of them confused, trying to figure out what happened and if their kids are okay. Now, we spoke to a few of them. They have been able to meet with their children, or they have been able to text them again or have a phone call. So a lot of them feeling a little better knowing that their kid is okay. But as you can see right now, investigators still up and down this area where that crime scene is, and piecing together some of the evidence that they've seen on this area and in this, again, on this scene, to figure out what exactly happened leading up to the gunfire.
Alexis, based off of what you're seeing at that area, does it look like, I mean, you've been to numerous shootings in this city. Does it look like they're investigating this as just shots fired? Does it, I mean, have you seen an ambulance to a point to where you can, you know, piece together if somebody was actually shot at 17th and Denison, or is it more difficult to figure out what's happening there, because it looks like this is just at the beginning stages?
So we have not seen any ambulances on this block or in this area. I don't think we've seen any since we've gotten here, actually. It kind of looks like shots fired at the moment, because they're just kind of taking pictures and looking closely at some of these cars, looking for bullet holes, shell casings, things of that nature. Again, one of the neighbors that I did talk with, who said he heard several gunshots go off, he said he saw those people who were around in this area run away. So as you could imagine, it could be a situation where a person might have been hit and they might have gone to a local hospital, like we've seen in some crime scenes before, or no one might have gotten injured. Again, early stages, so we're still trying to figure out that information. But as of now, we have not seen an ambulance or anyone being assisted or helped on scene.
Okay, Alexis Wainwright is there. She's outside Central High School. Alexis, a lot of parents watching this wondering what is going on, and you're not far from Central High School. What is actually happening at that school right now? Because in a tweet earlier, I think I saw on your Twitter account, you know, some police cars blocking off roads near the school. I saw some traffic out there. In another video, I saw a school bus outside Central High School. What's happening there right now?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to walk and talk so you can get a better look at the side.
Yeah.
So again, as you mentioned, we're on 17th and Denison. So we are kind of on the side of Central High's campus. Since we've gotten here, we've seen, as you mentioned, a lot of LRPD cars blocking off roads. We also have seen LRSD security cars outside blocking roads and making sure people aren't able to walk straight onto campus. As you could imagine, as a worried parent, your first thing when you get here is you want to get on campus and make sure your kid is okay. So a lot of parents have been told to stay back and to be calm and wait till they hear more information before they can come on campus or even talk to their child. So now we're on 16th and Denison. You can see this Little Rock police car right here kind of blocking this staff parking lot right here next to the school. As you see several cars, you see people kind of sitting around, standing around, trying to wait to hear more word about what exactly is happening. So this is just one area near the campus, but it's a similar scene throughout the entire area around Central High School.
Okay, we have, okay, Alexis, we have new information just coming in from LRPD. This is what we know right now. All teachers and students are safe. Buses are now en route to pick up students at the school. And Little Rock School, Little Rock Central High School will be dismissing students shortly. And parents can pick up students then. But again, no active shooter, but Little Rock Central High School is going to be dismissing class now, and buses are en route to the school to start that dismissal process, which Alexis would help us better understand why we're starting to see maybe some buses on the front side of that school a little while ago.
Right, exactly. As you mentioned, we saw the initial first bus pull up and the bus driver kind of called in and let them know, hey, I'm outside waiting. So now it sounds like they are going to start dismissal. We've seen a few students kind of walk away from campus and reunite with their family members. But at this moment now, we are starting to see more movement around campus, whether students are just walking off of campus, maybe they walk to school, versus others who have to get on a bus and ride back home.
Okay. Obviously, moments that, these parents are probably just, sick to their stomach, seeing the reports, seeing that, this is happening. You're on the far side of the school. Alexis, are you able to walk just a little bit to your right? Are buses already there? Are you able to tell?
Let me walk.
If you don't mind.
One thing I just overheard security here at the campus is making some of the students who are walking off of campus sign out. So that's another way I guess they're going to keep accounted for all of students who aren't leaving on a bus or leaving with a parent.
So students are having to sign out so that way they can, if a parent comes to the school, they're able to try and let those parents know what's going on.
Exactly. So we are walking back up. Give me 1 second to Park Street. See more police lights as we get a little closer here. Okay, so we are at 16th and Park Street now. And you can see LRPD still has this road blocked off. And as we get to the front of Central High, we see several buses. I don't know if you can see, Mitch.
Yeah, they're right in the middle of their dismissal. Right in the middle.
So they have this road blocked off to regular traffic, but right now we can see over a dozen school buses in front of the school. I'm gonna walk a little closer.
Are you seeing students at all, Alexis?
I haven't yet, other than the two who just walked off of campus and signed out. I haven't seen any other students.
And then, of course, you've been to a Central High before, so on the other side of that would be the parent pickup line. It'll be interesting to see how quickly that line starts formulating. I'm assuming parents were already going to start heading to the school after, getting notification of this.
Yeah, exactly. So when we first got here, we saw a lot more parents out front. Many of them just picking random driveways like this to kind of park in and just go up to the school. But since they've been turned away, I'm sure, as you mentioned, they probably went back around and started creating a line to pick up their students. Especially
after getting word that school would be dismissing here very shortly. Again, if Alexis, I'll let you go. I know that you have a lot of stuff to do. I appreciate all the insight you've been able to provide with images there on the ground at Central High School. If you get any more info, feel free to let us know. We'll bring you back on. Obviously, you're going to want to try and talk with students as they're dismissed with their parents to try and figure out what happened inside that school today.
Right. I will update you as we learn more.
All right. Alexis Wainwright there at the scene at Central High School. Appreciate your time this afternoon. Again, let's bring you to this video that came into us a little while ago. This is from Alexis and her photographer there at the scene. You see a crime scene that's been set up with detectives there on the ground. This is actually a looping video where you can see the Little Rock police detectives there. Again, this is at, she was saying on Denison between 16th and 17th Street. where you see crime scene detectives there at the school, crime scene detectives there at a neighborhood nearby the school. Again, this video coming into our newsroom just a short while ago, where you see the crime scene detectives there, and you can see the beginning process to this investigation. If you're just joining us, good afternoon to you. I'm Mitch McCoy. We are following breaking news right now. This is after a very chaotic day for students and staff at Central High School here in Little Rock. Just a few moments ago, LRPD updated us on the situation there on Park Street. There is no active shooter at Central High School. Again, no active shooter at Central High School. However, LRPD is there, as you see in the video. They are investigating shots fired nearby the school. This is going to be on Denison between 16th and 17th Streets, where LRPD got a call of shots fired in this neighborhood where you see a crime scene's been established. And at this point, they're trying to figure out what led up to the gunfire. However, we have not been able to get any info just yet from LRPD related to this incident of shots fired. What happened? What led up to this gunfire in this neighborhood? We don't know if anyone was hit by gunfire. However, Alexis is telling us that they are looking at some vehicles nearby to try and determine if there were vehicles hit by this gunfire. At this point, information is still difficult to come by. However, we have been able to confirm that Central High School is going to begin the process of dismissing students. That process has already begun. Let me tell you what we know from LRPD. We know that school buses are already arriving at the high school to start picking those students up to bring them home. Parents who want to pick their students up can do so. Parents can start that process now, where they are going to start dismissing those students, and then they'll be able to reunite with their parents. And right now, LRPD is saying all teachers and students are safe. There are no injuries to anyone inside the school, and there is no active shooter. But this is now going to begin the investigation, at least on the LRPD side, as to what led up to the gunfire just a block or two away at Central High School. It was late this morning. It was right around 11:30 this morning, according to the LRPD dispatch log, that they got calls of shots fired. And so they are going to start piecing together exactly what happened today near Central High School, just a block or two away, as we start to learn that school buses are arriving at Central High School to begin the process of picking up students and staff. Of course, this is going to be one of those days to remember. I was scrolling through social media and somebody made the comment that just because there were no physical injuries to anyone inside Central High School, the mental anguish will continue for a lot of students who heard that gunfire just a block or two away from their classrooms today. Alexis telling us that it was possible that some students were out on their lunch, so possibly outside when they heard some of the shots fired. So this is going to be traumatizing for a lot of parents. Of course, we will likely hear more from the Little Rock School District as they begin their process of evaluating what happened today to try and figure out what steps to take further. But it appears right now that this is going to be an isolated incident, not connected to the school, a block or two away. But of course, a lot of those questions we are still going to need answers to. We will continue to ask those questions and have updates throughout the day. If you're joining us on social media, we will have updates right here on our social media channel, but updates as they come in on KARK.com and Fox16.com. For now, I'm Mitch McCoy. This has been a special report